It was a hot sunny day. Uju just came back from school to see people gathered in front of her father's house. As she came closer, she saw her mother wailing with her two younger ones sitting down, confused. She quickly asked people what is happening, and they were all looking at her, confused. She asked them why they are assembling in her father's house. Nobody answered. She quickly rushed inside the house to see her father laying down, dead, on the floor. She ran outside screaming and crying. Next thing, she fainted. In a village called Omudum, there lived a man called Mr. Obi. Mr. Obi was a great farmer. People of Omudum were known for their farming and their fishery. Most of them were into farmlands, and this made them rich because their land was very fertile. Uju's father wasn't really a rich man, but he believed in hard work, and through hard work and farming, he was able to be a good father and a good husband. One day, Mr. Egu, a very wealthy man, came back from the town. He was known for his wickedness, and the people feared him. He saw Mr. Udu's land, and he knew that that land was good for the business he wanted to do. He met Mr. Udu and asked him to sell the land to him. Mr. Udu refused, telling him that that was the only farmland that he inherited from his late father, that his ancestors would be angry with him if he sold the land, that he won't sell it. Ever since then, Mr. Udu and his family had no peace. As Uju lay on the ground unconscious, the crowd of people gathered around her, trying to revive her. Her mother, still wailing, rushed to her side, cradling her head in her lap. Uju, my daughter, wake up, she cried, tears streaming down her face. Please don't leave me too. The crowd began to murmur, trying to make sense of the tragedy that had unfolded. Uju's father, a kind and loving man, had been found dead in his own home. The cause of death was still unknown, but the shock and grief was palpable. As Uju slowly came to, she was met with the sober faces of the crowd. Her mother helped her sit up, still crying uncontrollably. Uju, my daughter, I'm so sorry, she whispered, hugging her tightly. Your father is gone. He's no longer with us. Uju's eyes widened in horror as the reality of the situation sank in. She looked around, hoping to see her father standing somewhere, smiling at her, but he was truly gone. The days that followed were a blur of grief and mourning. Uju's family was consumed by sadness, struggling to come to terms with the loss of their beloved patriarch. As the funeral arrangements were made, Uju's mother realized that she couldn't care for her children alone. She made the difficult decision to be hardworking. As time went by, Mr. Egu started to involve himself with so many evil things going on in the village. Firstly, the land dispute that was going on for years. Mr. Egu refused to let it go. He started cultivating the land immediately Uju's father died. Uju's father, despite the challenges, remained steadfast when he was alive, determined to protect his family land and legacy. But the stress and tension has taken a toll on him, and he had begun to fall ill. Uju's mother has tried to persuade him to sell off the land to Mr. Egu, but Uju's father refused, saying that that was the only land he has. And then, one fateful day, Uju just decided that it was time to face reality. Uju, on the other hand, was so bitter because she saw this particular event play in her dreams. And when she woke up, she told her father to be careful of Mr. Egu. In fact, that he should just avoid everything that concerns him. Little did Uju know that it was the last day, because after that, Uju's father didn't make it alive. Uju's father was taken to the mortuary, waiting on the day of his burial. Uju and her family were still mourning when Uju had a strange dream, where he saw his father telling her not to cry, but that they should put a machete inside his casket and make sure to seal the grave with cement once they bury so that he can avenge his death. Uju woke up from the dream feeling a sense of unease. She couldn't shake off the feeling that her father's spirit was trying to communicate with her. She started to share the dream with her mother, who was still grieving the loss of her husband. Mother, I had a strange dream, Uju said, her voice trembling. Father was telling me not to cry, but to put a machete in his casket and see his grave with cement. Her mother was shocked, looked at her, surprised. What? Why would your father say that? Uju shook her head. I don't know, but I feel like he's trying to tell us something. Maybe it's connected to his death. Her mother's expression changed and she looked at Uju with a serious gaze. You know, Uju, I've been thinking your father's death was not natural. I think he was killed by Mr. Egu. Uju's eyes widened in shock. What? Why do you think that? Mother said. I'm noticing strange things. Your father has been receiving threats from Mr. Egu ever since he refused selling the land to him, and I think he might have had something to do with his death. Uju felt a surge of anger and sadness. She knew that her father had been fighting with Mr. Egu over the land, but she had never thought that it would lead to his death. The day of the burial arrived, and Uju's family prepared to lay their beloved father to rest. As they were about to close the casket, Uju remembered her dream. She took out her mother, who nodded in understanding. Together, they placed a machete in the casket and then sealed it. As they lowered the casket into the grave, Uju's mother instructed the grave diggers to seal the grave with cement. Uju felt a sense of unease as the cement was poured over the grave. She couldn't shake off the feeling that her father's spirit was stirring, preparing to avenge his own death. As the family walked away from the grave, Uju's mother turned to her and whispered, I think your father's spirit will not rest until justice is served. Uju nodded in agreement, feeling a sense of determination. She knew that she would do everything in her power to ensure that her father's death was not in vain. 3 days later, Mr. Ebu ran to Uju's father's house, screaming and shouting that he will confess. Everyone in the community gathered, and Mr. Ebu confessed. He said that he was the one that killed Uju's father. He begged them to forgive him, that truly the land belonged to Uju's father, but he had been pleading with him to sell the lands to him. But Uju's father's stubbornness made him so angry that he decided to end his life. He also said that he was sorry because ever since Uju's father died, he has known no peace. The people of the village were so angry that they banished Mr. Egu from the village, and his house was set ablaze, and the land was given back to Uju's family. The company was in shock in the turn-up of invents. How can a wealthy man like Mr. Egu, who could get anything he wanted, stoop so low to killing somebody in order to take his land? They had suspected him, but they never thought he could go as deep as being the one responsible for his death. As Mr. Egu begged for forgiveness, the community gathered around him with their faces filled with anger and disappointment. The village elders stepped forward, his voice firm and authoritative. Mr. Egu, you have brought shame and sorrow to our community. Your actions are unforgivable and you must face the consequences. You are hereby banished from our village and your house will be set ablaze as a symbol of rejection of your evil deeds. The community erupted in cheers and chants, demanding justice for Oju's family. Stable, realizing the gravity of his actions, fell to his knees, begging for mercy. But it was too late. My deed has been done, and he had to face the consequences. As villagers set Mr. Egu's house ablaze, Oju's family watched, mix of emotions on their faces. They were relieved that justice had been served, but they were also saddened by the loss of their beloved father. The village elder turned to Oju's family and said, the land that was cause of this tragedy will now be returned to the rightful owners. The family, you are the true owners of the land, and I recognize you are the rightful owner. Uju's family was overjoyed, and they thanked the village elder and the community for their support. They knew that they still had a long way to go, but then again, because they have each other, nothing can destroy them. Thank you so much for watching my stories. Please, if you enjoyed the story, let us know where you're watching from in the comment section. Kindly like, please share, subscribe to my channel, on your notification bell, so once I post new videos, you'll be notified. Okay, thank you so much. Let us know the moral lesson you learned from this story. I want to hear from you in the comment section. Okay, and while you're at it, please share my videos. Help share my videos as much as you can. Help share to family, help share to friends, help share to groups, and stay tuned to this channel because I'll be doing a giveaway very soon. So Stay tuned and make sure to always watch my videos. Please not skip advertisement in case it pops up. I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.